This is Neil's on Dynasty here with my buddy Harley. Get your butt out of my face. Oh, you crazy boy. He's being a love bug this morning. This is Neil's on Dynasty. Be kind, helpful, and grateful. Uh, Buy some silver, some platinum, and some crystallized osmium. And like, share, and subscribe because it's a cool thing to do. As usual, I bring y'all some weird stuff, or weird, unusual stuff other people don't want to report, however you want to say it. This one this one's pretty good. It's about a little. It's going to be a little 2 to 3 minute video on South African golden mole is back after being extinct for 87 years. What? Yes, it's back after being extinct. It shows you the science changes, everything changes, observations change, creatures change positions in areas they live in. Are said to have gone extinct, and then but it's actually hard to find this one in particular creature, and this little short story is going to tell you quite a bit. It's very informative about something you knew nothing about. It's funny. All right, here we go.
Where we cover unique and interesting stories for you. In this episode, we will discuss the blind golden mole, rediscovered after 87 years. A blind golden mole that can swim through sand has been rediscovered in South Africa 87 years after it was declared extinct. Scientists were able to locate the mole in sand dunes in the northwest of the country, following a 2-year search relying on DNA samples. A sniffer dog was also put to work, along with a team of conservationists and geneticists from the Endangered Wildlife Trust. The golden mole species had gone out of sight since 1936. About the size of a mouse or hamster, they were previously spotted in the small region of Port Nolloth in the Northern Cape. Adding to the predicament, they are very hard to spot, owing to their oversensitive ears, which can detect movement from above ground. Also, they live in largely inaccessible burrows and don't leave tunnels behind them. Extracting DNA from soil is not without its challenges, but we have been honing our skills and refining our techniques, even before this project. And we were fairly confident that if De Winton's golden mole was in the environment, we would be able to detect it by finding and sequencing its DNA, said Samantha Meinhardt, conservation geneticist with the Endangered Wildlife Trust and Stellenbosch University, in a press release. The team of scientists was first able to detect the presence of the golden mole species in June 2021. It was then that they surveyed up to 18 kilometers of dunes a day using a trained sniffer dog, while also relying on 100 soil samples from sites along the northwest coast where golden mole activity was detected. An analysis of the survey later confirmed the presence of golden mole in the dunes. The scientists said the biggest challenge for them was to differentiate Cape golden mole and Grant's golden mole from De Winton's golden mole. The team had only one golden mole DNA sample for reference, and that's why they had to wait for almost a year until they could confirm the presence of the much sought-after species. Thanks.
Isn't that some crazy crap? They actually had to get samples of sand from 1937 that they had stored from the last time they saw this critter, because this critter's like a worm. It doesn't do like a mole where it has a hole that it goes through. It's like a worm. It goes through and there's no entry or exit. The sand just collapses behind it and like swims through the sand. So it's very difficult to that alone would make it very difficult to find, track, trace, tell how many there are, all kinds of things. But then on top of that, what they did is they got part of that soil sample and they trained a sniffing dog. This is bizarre. They trained a sniffing dog off of a 80-some-year-old sample to smell this one in particular creature because it lives inside the sand, under the sand. And they spent a couple of years trying to find it, and they actually found it. That is dedication. Actually, probably cost quite a bit of money too. But I'm glad they found the little critter. Don't know what he does or his importance, but it's nice to know that we're unextincting critters instead of extincting them, because you hear, oh, we're all killing this, we're killing this, we're killing this. Those are all misnomenclatures. Not all. There's several in there that would be misnomenclatures or flat out lies. What it means is we haven't seen them. There's another critter down there. It's called, in Africa, it's called the sand cat. It's a real small cat. Again, same issue. It's got good ears, hearing, and great vision. And it's naturally lives in the desert. So it's hard for them to track and trace it because it can hear you from like 100 yards away and it's going to take off. And as the sand blows, the tracks cover up. So there's no tracks of it. Another creature they thought was on the verge of extinction that I did a report on about a year or so ago. That's actually not on the verge of extinction. It's just we don't have the means to at the time or whatever to track, trace, or identify it in an area of the world that doesn't leave traces because of natural things like wind. I mean, you walk in the sand, we're heavy. We leave deep footprints. A little 2-pound cat with fur on its feet doesn't leave that much of a footprint. A little 5-mile-an-hour wind knocks that top surface of that sand over. You no longer see its footprints. You don't know where it is. So it's interesting that we've just rediscovered what we thought was an extinct species, and it's actually good news. And I like bringing good news. So this is the good news story of the year, people. The golden mole in South Africa is not extinct after 80 some years. We just didn't see it for that long. Have a good day.